Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this absolutely beautiful 2016 Infiniti Q70L. The L in the name stands for long wheelbase. This was kind of designed for executives in mind with almost limo-like rear seat legroom. And the Q70L is in a class of its own because most long wheelbase luxury sedans are full-size luxury sedans like the BMW 7 Series and Mercedes Benz S-Class. But the Q70 is really more of a mid-size sedan along the lines of like a BMW 5 Series or Mercedes E-Class. But as far as I know, at least in the US, you can't get any other mid-size luxury sedan with an optional long wheelbase like this Q70, kind of putting it in a class of its own. And this one also has very low miles, only 14,794 miles on this 2016. You might wonder, how is it possible? Well, in the car business, obviously we see all sorts of vehicles come in on trade, and then as my job as a used car manager, I'm supposed to, acquire vehicles for our inventory as well, because we can't trade in enough cars to sustain our used car business, which is pretty good. So looking at off-lease vehicles to buy, I try to get one to the lowest mileage, because mileage is everything on a pre-owned vehicle. And this isn't the lowest miles. I actually come across some off-lease vehicles that I buy with like 5,000. At the time of making this video, I have a Q60 I bought off lease, a 2017 that we got off a 39-month lease with only 2,500 miles. So some people just don't drive a lot. We'll see vehicles of very high miles, and then at the other end of the spectrum, there'll be vehicles of very low miles. As far as people changing the odometer or anything like that, it's really hard to do that these days. Back in the day, you could be a backyard mechanic and change the odometer, but now with Carfax and mileage getting reported at service intervals, it's pretty hard. And with a digital speedometer like this, you'd have to take it to a very, a speedometer shop or someone who's certified to work on these things to change the miles, and they're not going to do that because it's against the law. And being an off-lease vehicle, buying this from Infiniti, it's not like it's got a shady history. We know the whole history of this vehicle, so I wouldn't have any concerns about the mileage not being accurate. It is accurate, and it's very low. So if you've been looking for a nice Q70, this is definitely one to consider. Really nice color combination, Hermosa blue on wheat leather. It has the premium package. It has illuminated kick plates. Lots of other good, great features. Original MSRP was $55,280. Great sounding Bose audio system, drive mode selector, heated and air conditioned seats. These climate controlled seats are very nice. When I put it in the air conditioned mode, it's actually blowing air conditioned air through the perforated holes in the seats. It's hot and muggy out today. It's like in the 80s. I'm sweaty and feeling gross, but these cooled seats are a godsend. So if you get uncomfortable in hot weather, I highly recommend getting something with air conditioned seats. 7-speed automatic transmission. It does have manual shift mode as well. Beautiful wood trim throughout. We all love that traditional Infiniti analog clock. Navigation, 360-degree round view monitor with moving object detection, moonroof, automatic dimming mirror with universal garage door opener, power adjustable steering wheel that tilts and telescopes, and the steering wheel is also heated as well. Unfortunately, 2019 was the last year of the Q70. It has been dropped, and we really don't have another vehicle to replace it. Right now, our biggest sedan is a Q50, which is a mid-size sedan. Actually, I shouldn't say mid-size. The Q50 is actually considered a compact sedan. So this is really a great find with such low miles, and it's really not that different than a 2019. Part of the problem is Infiniti really didn't update the Q70 since it came out in 2011 as the M series. In 2014, they changed the name to Q instead of M, but really it was only the name that changed. They kind of revamped all the model names in 2014, confused a lot of people, but the only difference between an M37 or a Q70 is the name. Obviously, the long wheelbase was not an option in the M series. When they changed over to the Q name, they did offer a long wheelbase, so that would be one subtle difference. But yeah, Infiniti kind of neglected the M. 2011 to 2019, not that many changes. So, the last 2 or 3 years of production, we were only selling maybe 1 or 2 of these a year. So that means there's not that many pre-owned ones on the market, since we didn't sell that many new ones. You have heated outbound rear seats. I'm 6'2". I had that front seat adjusted for my height, and look at all this legroom I have. It is so comfortable back here. Also features soft closed doors, which is usually something that you find on only high-end premium vehicles. So you don't have to slam the door shut, you just close it a little bit, and then it will close the rest of the way. Same thing goes with the trunk. Here you can see we have the all season mats, so you don't have to slam the trunk, you just put it down, and then it will close the rest of the way for you. So the Q70 kind of last few years was falling behind the competition, wasn't updated, sales were floundering and eventually got discontinued. But I still think it's a great product. I think, you know, comparing this to 2016 competition, I think it doesn't feel dated at all. I like the styling. And there's also something to be said, okay, a lot of people get concerned whenever a manufacturer comes out with a brand new vehicle, because they know, okay, this is the first year of this vehicle, there's defects, they have to work the bugs out. Well, if they've been making this same basic vehicle since 2011, by 2016 they worked out all the bugs. And I can tell you, working for Infiniti for 15, actually going on 16 years, these are one of our more reliable vehicles. They're made in Japan, really high quality vehicle. We see very little issues with these vehicles. The interior appointments, the switches, the trim, all holds up very nicely. You don't get squeaks and rattles, and even a high mileage example. So if you're looking for a luxury car that's going to last a long time, these things are built to last 300,000 miles, and I've seen many of Infinitis go 200, 300,000 miles very easily. The engine in this Q70, the award-winning VQ37 engine, is actually designed to have a service life of 300,000 miles, and they do go that long, I can tell you that. Maintenance-free timing chain, so you never need to worry about the cost replacement of timing belts. It's also a very powerful engine. It makes 328 horsepower, so it's very fun to drive. It's actually built surprisingly on a sports car platform, and you would be kind of surprised, okay, this is a really long wheelbase Q70. Actually shares its platform with the Nissan 370Z sports car. So being built on that rear-wheel drive 370Z platform, it's a very balanced, very fun handling vehicle. A lot of other Infinitis are built on this advanced front-engine platform, like the G series is built on it, the Q50 and the Q60 that we still even offer today is built on this advanced front-engine platform. And the reason why they call it that is they take the engine, they place it as far behind the front axle as possible, so the center of gravity is towards the middle of the vehicle, and it just helps it rotate on its axis and improves the handling and feel through the corners. This Q70 also has intelligent all-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive was standard, all-wheel drive is optional. Generally, in our neck of the woods, the Pacific Northwest, with our wet, slippery weather, people like all-wheel drive, so most of the Infinitis that you'll find in our inventory, newer pre-owned, will be all-wheel drive, and you're going to get a lot better wet weather performance with all-wheel drive, and if you're going to drive in the snow, you're going to do a lot better in the snow with all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, and it's intelligent all-wheel drive. So when all-wheel drive is not needed, it'll be 100% of the power to the rear wheels. Infiniti does this for a number of reasons, because if the all-wheel drive system's constantly working all the time, even in dry conditions like this, the tires are going to get chewed up faster, your gas mileage is going to get reduced, and also by having that rear-wheel drive bias, it gives it that rear-wheel drive sports car feel. So it's 100% rear-wheel drive, but this Q70 has a brain that's always monitoring driving conditions. So as soon as those rear wheels slip, in a matter of milliseconds, almost instantly it can send up to 50% of the vehicle's power to the front wheels. One of the most advanced all-wheel drive systems you'll find on a production automobile. Very reliable. I've rarely seen any of these all-wheel drive systems gone bad, and they've been using this Tesla all-wheel drive system for a very long time. One of the first vehicles that we saw, the first application of this all-wheel drive system in the United States was the 1999 Infiniti QX4. Actually, I think it maybe started in 1990 with a 1997 Infiniti QX4, and even before that, this all-wheel drive system originally was derived from Japanese market Nissan Skyline high performance vehicle. So it's kind of a really cool all drive system. They've improved it over the years. It uses an electromagnetic differential. It works very quickly. It's pretty light. I think the whole system weighs less than 200 pounds, and it's also proven to be very reliable. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.